Hi, I'm Parent Coach Kay, and I have to share this because I could not believe what I saw. Now, this is um, uh, has been kind of textbook. I mean, I know about this from other clients that have shared, their journey in terms of parents who come to me. I'm usually the last house on the block. They've gone to therapists to get their kids to stop tantruming, or uh, you know, whatever the attitude's the issue, defiance, screaming. Um, you know, just not following directions, uh, whatever it is, I'm the last house on the block. So, and what that means is that I have to give very good direction very quickly. I don't want to waste a parent's time because by the time they see me, they are exasperated. So I don't know if you experience this. I'd love to hear from you. Um, I went to um, uh, not a psychiatric, the mental health department of a school. It's going to remain nameless, okay? Because I don't want to name people. I just wanted to share with you my experience. And I went, and I was, this was with a child. I was supporting another parent, and their child had needed to go in to this mental health facility because it was suggested by the school that he get evaluated. Now, up until this point, this child had been just fine. There were no issues with the child. He had a serious loss in the family, and there was a death in the family, and it was, um, a tragedy. And and this is a teenager, and he was, you know, he got into it with some kids at school. All right, but this is the only time that he had a glitch, if you will, on his school record. So the mom asked me would I come for support. So I said sure, and I've been working with her for a while, and she had come to me with one round of coaching for older kids, and then later on with another kid, and so I went with her, and this kid hadn't even been evaluated yet. We were in the waiting area of when you go in, the waiting room. The doctor has the waiting room before you get in the room, and there was so one of the doctors um, came in and looked at this teenager, so at the 16-year-old, and said, "Hey, Jim Bob, what's going on? We're going to see how you're doing. We might give you some medication." And the mom looked at me, and I just looked at the mom, uh, and I was so proud of this mom because I didn't say anything. I just went, medication. He was dropping medication like it was a lemon drop. And this mom said, can I talk to you a moment outside? And so I went outside and just walked a little ways away because I was going there to support her. And I just walked a few steps, and she had said, medication? What? You haven't even looked at him. And she said, I'm trying to get my child to take responsibility for what comes out of his mouth. And I would very much appreciate it if you would take responsibility for what comes out of yours. And after that, there was no more talk about medication. This is before he was even looked at. I thought, my jaw was, I couldn't believe it. And I don't know if you've had that experience where it's just so casual now. It's just like, oh, yeah, well, maybe your kid needs, oh, he's not following your directions. Maybe just needs some of this. Now, this is not my area. But when you're giving your kid medication because they won't follow directions the first time, or because they're yelling a lot and they're not doing it at school, or they're not doing a little bit at school. So that's another key, that maybe it's mom. Maybe it's about boundaries. I'll have a mom say, well, he's just not listening to me. Was he listening to anybody? Well, yeah, he listens to his dad, and he listens to people at, the teacher at school, but who needs the medication? Maybe it's you. Maybe you need medication so you can relax, so you're not micromanaging your kid. and not repeating yourself over and over again. Maybe if you're relaxed, your child will be relaxed, because the most relaxed parents have the most relaxed kids. And that's one of my jobs, to help you to relax. So I'm just curious if anyone has had this experience where you're going to someone and they don't know anything. They haven't taken any kind of physiological test. They're just talking to you, and then they just go, that's nail polish. Your kid needs this. Really? Okay. So, and I get parents that say, I don't want to have put my kid on medication. Yeah, that's not my area. I don't tell parents to do it or not do it. I say, you go check out everything. But when you work with me, I can't coach you if your kid's on medication, because it's just a conflict, and I can't tell you to do something to give you direction for your child, because they may have a reaction that has to do with that medication. That's just not my area. If you need to do that, go do it. I support whatever you got to do that's working for you as a parent. So I'm just curious if anyone has had that experience. I'd love to hear from you. Coach@icoachmoms.com. Really like to hear from you. And what else? I guess that's about it. So I just could not believe it. It's like I might as well just said to Jim Bob, we might give you some medication, maybe a cigarette, some vapes, just to kind of, whatever you need to kind of get through. It's like no judgment on whatever you're doing. It's not my job. Just really want to hear from you. Anyone relates to this. Okay. Hope that made sense.